Greetings, Phil Hoovians. Hooving Queen here. Hope you have a good week so far. Our look at the 11th Doctor era now comes to a close with the penultimate episode of Series 6, Closing Time. The Doctor's on a farewell tour of his friends and only has one day to go before his death. He stops by Craig, who is living with his girlfriend Sophie in a new home in present-day Colchester and is raising their baby Alfie. Craig, struggling to care for Alfie while Sophie is away for the weekend, suspects the Doctor is investigating something alien. The Doctor prepares to leave, but he notices a strange electrical disturbance in the area and decides to investigate. The Doctor takes a job at the department store to investigate the disturbances further, along with reports of missing employees. The Doctor and Craig enter a lift and find themselves teleported to a Cyberman spacecraft. The Doctor manages to reverse the teleporter and disable it. With Craig's help, the Doctor enters the store after hours and catches a Cybermat, which has been siphoning small amounts of energy to the spacecraft. The Doctor also encounters a malfunctioning Cyberman in the building's basement and is curious how it arrived in the store. At Craig's, the Doctor reprograms the Cybermat to track down the Cyberman signal. The Doctor leaves on his own to locate the Cybermen at the store. Craig shortly follows, bringing Alfie along. The Doctor finds the spaceship actually sits below the store, underground, accessed from the changing room. With the siphoned energy, the Cybermen will soon have enough power to convert the human race. Craig, leaving Alfie at the store, follows the Doctor and is captured and placed into a conversion machine to become the new leader of the Cybermen. Alfie's cries over the closed-circuit television echo in the ship. Craig, hearing Alfie, fights and reverses the conversion. The rest of the Cybermen painfully experience the emotions they have repressed from Craig's struggle, and their circuits start to overload. The Doctor and Craig escape via the teleporter as the ship explodes. The Doctor leaves in the TARDIS to face his death. In the far future, River Song, recently made a doctor of archaeology, notes the date and location of the Doctor's death. She is interrupted by Madame Kovarian and Agents of the Silence. Kovarian tells River that she is still theirs and will be the one to kill the Doctor. Against River's will, they place her in an augmented astronaut suit and submerge her in Lake Silencio in 2011 to await the Doctor. Bum bum bum. So now let's take a look at some continuities surrounding this episode. 200 years have passed for the Doctor since the events of the God Complex, taking him to the age his older self was in The Impossible Astronaut. He spent this time waving through time with Amy and Rory, which is seen at the beginning of The Impossible Astronaut. The Doctor takes the blue envelopes he uses to summon his companions from Craig's flat, and Craig gives him the Stetson he wears at the start of The Impossible Astronaut. From River Song's perspective, the final scene takes place immediately before the picnic in The Impossible Astronaut, and she is confirmed to have been that episode's eponymous astronaut. Cybermets are shown for the first time in the revived series. In the classic series, they appeared in The Tomb of the Cybermen, The Wheel in Space, and Revenge of the Cybermen. The Doctor examines the toy marks, Robot Dog, not so much fun as I remember, alluding to K9, a robot dog who accompanied the Fourth Doctor. The Doctor claims to be able to speak baby, as he did in A Good Man Goes to War. The Doctor expresses his dislike for Craig's redecorated house by using a line from the Second Doctor and the Three Doctors and the Five Doctors. The Doctor cites the mini-poem Not a Rat, a Cybermat from the novelization of Revenge of the Cybermen. Amy has become a minor celebrity, appearing in an ad for Petrichor perfume with the tagline, For the Girl Who's Tired of Waiting. The concept of Petrichor was used as a psychic password in The Doctor's Wife and means the smell of dust after rain. The Doctor freely refers to Amy as the girl who waited. The perfume and tagline imply that the episode takes place after the God Complex. This conflicts with the date on Craig's newspaper, April 19th, 2011, which is 3 days before the Doctor's death at Lake Silencio. Anyway, now let's move on to the production of this episode, beginning with the writing and casting. Writer Gareth Roberts said in an interview that he was considering bringing the character Craig back when he saw James Corden's performance of the Lodger, saying that it always felt like he was one of the Who family. Showrunner Stephen Moffat was pleased with the Lodger in an episode he called Quite Close to My Heart and wanted to bring Craig back. He commented that it was a change of pace for Corden, who was usually cast as the funny one. As Craig, he is the straight man to the wacky Doctor. Director Steve Hughes compared the Doctor and Craig to famous comedic duos such as Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Though most of the episode is intended to be fun, it also sets the stage for the finale and the Doctor's upcoming death. The serious final scene, written by Moffat, concluded events in River's life that had been hinted since Flesh and Stone. Other episode titles suggested by Roberts included Everything Must Go, The Last Adventure, and 3 Cybermen and a Baby. A prequel entitled Up All Night is included as part of the Night of the Doctor series of mini-episodes in the series DVD package. It was also Roberts' idea to bring back the Cybermen, because there were no other returning monsters in the series, and he thought there should be a sense of history about the Doctor's final battle to save Earth before he heads off to meet his death. He felt that this was consistent with the theme of death and lingering darkness that had run throughout the 6th series. Roberts wanted to think that maybe Craig would really be converted. Moffat felt the blowing the Cybermen up with love conclusion was the Doctor Who version of a father bonding with his son. Roberts felt that the episode's depiction of Cybermen is put in the silly/terrifying axis that was common in Doctor Who. Daisy Hicker's reduced role as Sophie in the episode was due to her role in the play Becky Shaw at Almedia Theatre in London. This episode marks Linda Barnes' 3rd involvement with Doctor Who, having provided vocals for the Ballad of the Last Chance Saloon heard in The Gunfighters, and the role of Rack in Enlightenment. The accompanying Doctor Who Confidential closing time is entitled Open All Hours, Nora Barron's role in the sitcom of the same name. Radio 1 DJ Greg James appears in a non-speaking cameo role as a man shopping for lingerie. His character was nicknamed Carlos. Alfie was portrayed by 7 different babies, usually paired in twins, because of strict rules about baby hours. Several dummies were used as well. Corden, who was about to become a father, learned tips from the mothers. Nice. And now finally on to filming and effects. Much of closing time was filmed in Howell's department store in Cardiff. As the store had to be closed, they filmed over 4 or 5 nights, sometimes going until 6 in the morning. Hughes said it was a drain of the production team, while Curtin recalled it made the cast and crew lightheaded and hysterical. Reportedly, the department store scenes were shot in March 2011. The rest of the episode was filmed in a private home in Cardiff. The couple who owned the house allowed the filming to take place in order for it to be an experience for their 2 young boys. Production of the house also went into the early hours of the morning. The window of the sliding glass door in the house that the Doctor jumps through to save Craig from the Cyberman was too small, so the production team built another one. The new door was too big for shattered glass. Instead, glass that breaks into chunks was used, wired with a small explosive that would crack the glass when Matt Smith's stuntman jumped through it. Hughes wanted it to look as if the audience was crashing through the window with the Doctor. He spliced together shots of Smith filmed running up to the door, the stuntman jumping through it, and Smith landing with shards of glass thrown over him. The Cybus Industries logo, which had been used in the Cybermen since their redesign for the Revive series in Rise of Cybermen and the Age of Steel, was covered up for the Cybermen in this episode as well as the ones which had previously appeared in A Good Man Goes to War. This is because the Cybermen from Rise of the Cybermen originated from a parallel universe, while the Prime Universe has its own Cybermen from the planet Mondas, as seen in the classic series. As the Cybermen that feature in closing time were barely surviving, the production team made them look broken down and as if they had been cannibalizing parts to survive. The suits were already worn to an extent, as they had been so often used in the 5 years since they were made. The cyber-controlled conversion equipment was built around Corden. The Cybermats, which had not been seen on screen since 1975's Revenge of the Cybermen, were redesigned to appear more high-tech. The top was designed to recall the head of a Cyberman, and piranha-like teeth were added to suggest that they were converted animals, just as Cybermen were converted humans. 3 versions of the Cybermat were made. The first was simply a stunt double, which didn't have teeth and was meant for being thrown around or laid still. The second was a cable-controlled close-up version that had teeth and thrashed, and was used for when the characters handled it. Smith broke this one when he hit it with a frying pan in the scene where Craig is being attacked, and was subsequently repaired with tape. The third was a radio control to dash along the floor. The post-production special effects team, The Mill, created a computer-generated Cyberman that leapt up to attack Craig. Wow. So overall, as the penultimate episode of Series 6, it does a really good job at setting up what's going to happen in the finale, and also seeing Craig again is great, and also bringing back the Cyberman I thought was a good idea. So, yeah. So overall, I give Closing Time 4 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. And don't forget to tune in next time as we take a look at the finale of Series 6, The Wedding of River Song. Well, hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about when I upload videos. And if you want to help support this channel, then be sure to check out my Patreon page. Link, as always, is in the description below. Anyway, until next time, this is Sophie and Queen saying, "Oh my giddy aunt! When I say run, run!" I reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.